Hey guys, Helen Hartsmith here again from the Heart of the Witch's Path YouTube channel. I hope you're having a good day. I am. And so I'm trying something out here, guys. And if this works out well, then this could be something fun. Anyhow, I thought that I would do a video. I had an idea for a series of videos and on rocks, on stones, and magical uses and things like that. And so I thought, if I could concentrate on one particular stone and kind of share with you, maybe a raw form and a polished form and talk about some differences and maybe talk about like where they're found and things like that, that it might be fun and interesting. So I'm trying it out. So let's see how it goes. And if it goes well, then maybe I'll do more. So what we have in front of us is Labradorite. And Labradorite is, it's my stone right now. Hence the multitude of varieties that you see in front of you. I'm not even sure how I want to format these. I've been tossing around ideas and I said, you know what? We're just going to record and we're going to see what happens. So, let's start off by talking about how I use Labradorite. So Labradorite for me, it's very much a stone of magic. And so I will use it like fluorite to boost my magic when I'm working magic. This is also known as a shaman's stone. So this particular stone is apparently popular with shamans. Now, I don't know a lot of shamans, so I can't validate that. But in the research that I've done, that's what I've heard. And so that's interesting to me since I don't consider myself a shaman, but I definitely have shamanic tendencies. Okay. You can also use this stone for healing, and we'll talk a little bit about that later. You can also use it for boosting your divination practices, so that's kind of fun. This is also a really good, safe travel stone, and it's good for knowledge, like for gaining knowledge and seeking knowledge. It's good for guidance and for self-discovery, and it's also a really good protection stone, which is another one of the main reasons that I use the Labradorite. So for me, I've been a practicing witch for like 20 years. And so in my practice, I've always used stones for different purposes, but it was actually this beautiful palm stone that I bought at Convocation last year that really kind of sparked my getting into stones a little bit more. It was this stone, and it was actually my sunstone, palm stone that I have that maybe we'll talk about in another video. But this definitely kind of set me up for looking and working with stones more. So that was another, really, it was like a boost for me to look at Labradorite first. Okay. So let's talk about the history of Labradorite. So it was originally discovered in Canada, in the peninsula of Labrador, and that's where it got its name. And it's actually found in multiple places around the country, or around the world, I should say. So it's located in the States. It's in Canada. You can find it in Madagascar and Australia. the former Soviet Union and Mexico. But supposedly the most beautiful forms of Labradorite actually come from Finland, which I thought was interesting. Now, all of these Labradorites that I have here, I feel like Francis isn't really being seen, so let me kind of tip him a little bit. There we go. So you can see that that's actually a skull. Although I'll talk about that in a second, or in a minute too. Labradorite is part of the feldspar family, and so when it crystallizes from a basic magmatic rock as a layered structure, so that the incandescent light is broken up. Now, what exactly that means, I don't know, but I'm trying to learn more about the geological aspect of rocks, and so I'm trying to kind of figure that out a little bit more. The hardness of Labradorite is a 6 to a 6.5 on the Mohs scale, so it's kind of like right there in the middle as far as hardness goes. As far as colors that you'll find Labradorite in, there's the blue-gray stone that you kind of really see like in something like this. There's and these are smaller tumbled stones. So this has like the blue-gray finish. And then you'll see the iridescence like this will come in different colors like this. This is very reminiscent to me of like peacock colors, that blue and the green and such. But there is also a purple version of Labradorite that I don't have a specimen of just yet. I'm in the market to find one. But just like I said, just haven't found it yet. So what we have here is a raw form, and even I think you can kind of see that there is some reflective that you can kind of pick up even in these raw pieces. And hopefully, yeah, see, I mean, there's some reflective right there. Really, really beautiful. Even in this raw state, they're really beautiful. So those are really cool. I remember one of my first encounters with Labradorite, and now I'm like wishing that I had my dream home. I actually, when I traveled out east for my graduation from the Temple of Witchcraft, the lady that I stayed with, in her shower, she has Labradorite surfaces. She has like a seat in her shower, and she has some shelving, and it's totally Labradorite. And I asked her about it, and she wasn't sure. She's like, it's just pretty. Like, she didn't know that it was Labradorite, but the more that I've studied and learned about it, it was totally Labradorite, and I was like super geeked about it. So it can be used as a countertop. So that was just like, I want those in my house. Anyhow, so let's talk a little bit more about healing, the healing properties of Labradorite. Labradorite is really good for bone issues, especially for those having to do with the spinal column and with joints. And so if you're someone that suffers from like rheumatism or arthritis, then you might want to start carrying a small piece of Labradorite, wear a pendant or a ring, or have a bigger piece like this that you can carry in your pocket, and see if that has a positive effect on your joint issues. So that's kind of cool. Now, the Labradorite also works well with the navel chakra if you're looking for stones for using with a chakra. So I thought that was kind of interesting. And it's also connected with the star sign Aquarius. So if you're an Aquarius, you might have a special affinity to Labradorite. So just thought that was some interesting little tidbits that I could share with you. So I already showed you this pendant that I have. It is my pendant that I'm kind of obsessed with. If you watched my recent video about the things that I'm obsessed with, this was one of them. Love that. And this is a sphere. Oh, look at that. I just happened to have it set up right where you could see the reflective. This is a very dark Labradorite specimen, but there's definitely some beautiful shimmery iridescent pieces to that. And I haven't taken that to a caliper, but I would say that that is probably like a 3-inch. So that's probably about a 70 or a 75 millimeter sphere. And I really, really love that. And then of course we have Francis here. Francis is a beautiful skull with some lovely little iridescent pieces there. And he's my buddy. He likes to go to work with me and things like that. So there's Francis. So like I said, these are the Labradorite pieces. These are some of what I have. I might play around with tumbling some of these and see what they do. See how, you know, if I can make them look nice like this. Maybe. I don't know. But definitely use them in crystal grid work. I actually have a crystal grid set up at work right now that I have Labradorite as part of that grid. And as I said before, this is really good for boosting your magic like a fluorite. So this is definitely, oh, I forgot a piece that that I don't have here. I actually have a tower that's about so big. I forgot to grab that to bring it out here and make it a part of this little presentation. So yeah, so that's Labradorite. That's how I use Labradorite. I think I came back to everything that I kind of wanted to talk about. Labradorite is also known as spectrolite. So if you're doing rock shopping, there might come, you know, it might be labeled as spectrolite. And I actually have a piece of hyperstein that is part of this spectrolite Labradorite family. So that's kind of cool too, but I'll wait and do another video on that maybe if you're interested. Also, I wanted to say that the planets that correspond with Labradorite are Uranus, Pluto, and Neptune. So those like outlying planets are connected with this stone. And I can kind of, from my experience with this stone, I kind of really see why. And doesn't this kind of remind you then of Neptune? I think that's Neptune. I think it's Neptune. I don't remember. Whatever. So anyhow, so that's Labradorite. So like I said, this is something that I'm testing out in video form. And if you guys are interested in me kind of sharing some more of my insights on particular stones and sharing like what they look like and things like that, I would be more than happy to do so. So just kind of let me know in the box below. And let me know, because I thought about talking about prices too, because I'm totally okay with sharing like what I paid for things, and to let you know like what is, what's too much, what's not too much. So I guess before I go, I'll say that these particular raw pieces I picked up at a recent rock show, and those were like 50 cents a piece. Now I've picked up similar sizes, if not a little bit smaller, at a rock store, and those were like $1.50 a piece. I would definitely say if you're into purchasing rocks for like crystal grid work, or if you're interested in tumbling and polishing, or maybe making your own cabochons like this, I would say that your best bet is to definitely go to a rock show. And where I'm located in mid-Michigan, there's been quite a few that I've attended. So 50 cents, really good price for raw pieces. I want to say I picked these small tumbled pieces up at a New Age store, and I paid $1 a piece. So that's a little steep, but not bad because I've seen them go for like $2 and $3 a piece, and so that's high. This particular palm stone that has amazing reflection on both sides, I paid $10 for, and I think that's kind of a steal. The pendant, I'd actually been in the market for a Labradorite pendant, and I saw stones that were about this same size that were going for over $100. And I was like, well, I'm not willing to pay that much. I paid $60 for this at a New Age store, and I thought that was a really good price. So I felt that that was a good value. Now, the sphere I paid $20 for at a rock show. And then Francis was $30. And so those are pretty good prices for spheres and for skulls. So I don't know. I hope that's helpful. If you want me to continue to talk prices, I'm more than happy to do that, just because I've been looking at different things and I was kind of wondering about prices when I first got into buying more stones and things like that. And so if that's helpful, then let me know that you want me to continue to talk about prices. Okay. So that is going to be it for this video. If you liked it, if you learned something from it, if you want me to continue doing more videos like this, then let me know in the description box. Or you can give it a thumbs up, because I always enjoy getting thumbs up. So that would be cool. And then if you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button. We love to have you come back to the channel and such. And let's see. Do you like Labradorite? Or what's your favorite stone or whatever? Let me know in the description box about that too. And I think that's it. There's links in the box. I kept saying description box, but it's really comments that I want you to comment in. The description box is where you're going to find helpful links. So check that out for the Instagram and the Facebook and things like that. I'm still getting over this little sore throat issue here, guys. So I'm feeling a little medicine heady. So thanks for watching, and thanks for taking the time to walk the path for a little while with me. Until next time, blessed be.